Hi, I'm Nemesis, and welcome to a slightly different video than what I usually do. I'm looking at Forza 4, and in particular, I'm looking at a car in Forza 4, namely the DeLorean. Now, the reason I'm looking at the DeLorean is, well, I own one, and I wanted to look at the car in the game and see how it compares. Now, first thing you might notice, for some reason the car looks painted right here. The thing is, the car is not painted, it is stainless steel. So right here, this glossy finish is, well, wrong. It's kind of unfortunate, but not much you can do about it. But anyway, first I'm going to take it for a drive on the Top Gear test track. Because frankly, we're probably never ever going to see a DeLorean on the Top Gear test track, because Jeremy Clarkson will probably throw a fit if that ever happens. So right there, yeah, there's a little glitch right here with the video, but it doesn't affect too much. Now, the good thing about the DeLorean, although it's not exactly a fast car, and that's kind of putting it lightly, it still outperforms at least 11 of the cars or so in the game. So, including the Kia CD, which is the star and reasonably priced car from Top Gear. I should be getting about the same numbers. The thing is, though, I kind of messed up some of the corners, like stopping too early. Part of the problem was I just played a different racing game right before doing this, so I was completely kind of thrown off by the simulation nature of this, whereas the game I was playing before this was more of an arcade game. Here's the thing about this car. Because the engine's in the back and it's rear-wheel drive, they're really concerned about oversteer. So they engineer it so much that it almost has a tendency to understeer until a certain point, and then all of a sudden, bam, it just wants to oversteer like crazy. It's kind of weird how you have to turn this car to make it oversteer, but you can do it. Trust me, I've done it before. So we've gone past 88, which of course is where, you know, in Back to the Future, you see the time travel happen. But yes, Back to the Future is the reason I got the car, my own car. And as you saw, a lap time of about 1:44. Not too bad for a 30-year-old car that's underperforming. Yes, I've seen the Back to the Future movies almost all my life. I've wanted this car since I was like 2, and I got one when I was able to afford it, which was about when I was 18. And one thing I always notice about this, they never ever get it right, is the temperature gauge on this car. It's always reading at 220 degrees, which is running way hot for a DeLorean. And right now, if this is a real DeLorean and it was working properly, the fans would kick in and it should drop the temperature about 185 degrees, which is much lower. That's about, the needle would be pointing at about a 45-degree angle down. Not sure why they never did that right in the Forza games, but yeah, in Forza 3 it was the same problem. Forza 4 apparently is the same problem. Another thing is this car's a black interior. My car, in real life, is a gray interior. Another thing is the speedometer only reads up to about 85, which at the time was all you could legally do. Not make have a speedometer in a car that ran higher than 85. So if you couldn't even see the top speed of the car, but later on, you know, the aftermarket ones, including in my car has 116 mile per hour speedometer even when the car tops out about 120, 125 or so. And that I completed another lap, which was much, much slower because I stopped for so long. But what can you do? Yeah, you can see the glossy finish, which is just wrong. But now we're going to go into Forza's Autovista mode, which is where you get to look at cars in high detail, and one of the cars that's in Autovista is the DeLorean, and Turn 10 probably knew that people would want to see the DeLorean in high detail because a lot of people are never going to see one in real life. But I'm going to use it to nitpick. So one thing, they actually got the stainless steel finish this time. In Autovista, the stainless steel's right there. You can see it. Which is good, because if they got it wrong, I would have yelled so much. And here I do the explode. Open up the everything.
The DeLorean DMC-12 is equipped with 15-inch die-cast aluminum alloy rear wheels and 4-wheel disc brakes.
And one thing they did get wrong, there should be a carpet right there. Not sure why there isn't. Maybe they just decided to do it without the carpet for whatever reason. But yeah, there should be a carpet over that spare tire.
These rear louvers may scream classic 80s style, but they're functional too. In addition to venting engine heat, they improve aerodynamics, which in turn increases both top speed and fuel economy.
DeLorean owners will argue relentlessly about whether or not that was intentional with heat dissipation and aerodynamics. A lot of people just say it's just because it looked cool.
The 2.8-liter V6 engine produces 130 horsepower. This helps the car reach 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.5 seconds and achieve a top speed of 120 miles per hour.
Yeah, like I said, not a fast car at all. Unfortunate, but 10.5 for stock one. Mine is not stock. Mine has a slight performance upgrade. Mine goes 0 to 60 close to 8 seconds.
The DMC-12 is the first and only car to use brushed stainless steel body panels. Its unique silver hue is simply raw metal, just like a high-end gas grill.
Kind of resent my car being compared to a gas grill, but whatever. And right there we see the going door. By the way, they do not open that fast in real life. They just do that in the Autovista mode.
Starting with its role as a time machine in the Back to the Future movies, the DMC-12 has enjoyed pop culture stardom. It's since made cameo appearances in The Simpsons and The Wedding Singer, among many others.
Many others include things like Family Guy, American Dad, and Chuck. Now here in the interior, this one's a black interior, like I said.
DeLorean pulled out all the stops when it came to outfit the cabin of the DMC-12. Its state-of-the-art cassette deck is even capable of receiving AM and FM radio at the push of a button.
And like I said, 1981, AM/FM cassette radio was actually pretty high-tech. And it looks like they got most of the details right. This car does not have the floor mats in it. I mean, seriously, they got the door stuff right, the stitching even. All that stuff is correct. Heck, they even got the engine noise correct. That's what a stock DeLorean should sound like. But they still got the needle wrong right there on the temperature gauge. I don't know why they cannot get that right, but they just don't bother trying to get it right. I don't know why, they just don't. That little steering wheel icon is for the driving challenge to unlock this car, which is kind of weird. But yeah, you can just do the challenge again once you've unlocked it. And in this case, it's going and doing the bowling mode on the Top Gear test track, which, you know, use your car as a bowling ball. Oh, and here we got Jeremy Clarkson.
If the DeLorean hadn't existed, Tom Clancy would have had to invent it. This wasn't really a car. It was part of a bigger storyline that involved the British government, the feds, and a silver-haired anti-hero with some extremely odd ideas. The DeLorean itself was perhaps his oddest idea of all. An unpainted stainless steel sports car with gull-wing doors and, thanks to a wheezing 130 horsepower Renault engine hanging off the back, almost no performance whatsoever. The DeLorean quickly developed a terrible reputation, and that only got worse when famous American owners got locked inside by the failing electrics. It was a disaster, and production ended before Steven Spielberg made it a time-traveling film star. If you want one now, there's a man in America who can build you a new DeLorean from old parts. But he won't be the real deal until he gets on the FBI Most Wanted list.
So as you can tell, Jeremy Clarkson doesn't really like the car too much. But on that sour note, I have to say goodbye because the video is ending. So I'll see you in a different video. Bye, guys.